Mark Twain. And I hadn't heard of Mark Twain till about 3-4 years ago. I have not read too much about it, but some of his quotes are phenomenal. They're freakishly funny. They're pithy. They're fiendishly quirky. They just put a smile on your face really rapidly. I've not picked his most funny quotes, but I've tried to pick something that's probably relevant in for our journey. But go through his quotes. Some of what he said is awesome stuff. He takes the most complicated of scenarios, puts something pithy and insightful that will definitely put a smile on your face. So, lovely, very quotable gentleman. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. This is super fabulous. We all do this, and I'm a reasonable worrier myself. Not too bad, but a reasonable worrier. So you keep on fretting, and then suppose you create something, comes out of it is brilliant. Sometimes there are variables that we can't control, but we still keep fretting. It's like paying a debt you don't owe. I'm losing a part of my sanity, my life, my vibrancy, my day-to-day joy, and creating a hole or creating a gap, or living 80% of what I could be living and having fun, because I'm fretting about something that I can't control, or it doesn't have such power over my life anyway. And so super crucial. So please don't do that. This is a wonderful thing which says about checking emails and checking WhatsApp messages. Fine. So I'm trying to build this. I'm not at all successful. So sometimes every time I say, look, we should all try this, I feel guilty. Several of these things I have not managed to pull off. It says if you can act on something, a piece of information, then you should open it. If you can't, then the time from which you get the input till you act on it, you can't do anything. You can do jack about the outcome, but you're fretting. So if you're at 9 p.m. and then you have your phone with you and you want to watch some streaming thing, that's still all right. But don't check email. When you see that email, then you have something to do that you can't do then, that you will do 14 hours later. But it's going to be there in your system. Some people switch off and say, look, I'm going to do it later. I'll do it later. I don't care about it now. But if you're not among them, then don't get inputs, information, nuggets way before you can act on them. If you can't act on something, don't even see what it is. And so don't create avenues that can stress you. So don't be part of 17 WhatsApp groups which have super combinations of aspirants. That's just the keeping up with the Joneses can be freakishly stressful. The guys who are rock stars who can turn up middle of the night and get 99.8 are there. Some of them are inspiring. Several of them are fun. But all of that is if you know them. If you know merely of their presence, then you don't know that he's also a regular guy whose brain seems to be just working that little bit better. And you attribute one major status to him, and this becomes a point of worry, point of concern. So have some exposure to a peer group, broader peer group. But don't be completely a slave to a bunch of news inflow points through WhatsApp or Facebook or LinkedIn. They can just, all of them act as mild stress points. Cumulatively, they can be crippling. So you should know when to venture out and when to prepare on an island all by yourself. That distinction you must draw. Because if you're not, then the worry increases. That's just silly. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. This is fabulous. This I see, I'm saying this because of the context of the times we're living in. I find so many aspirants spending so much time on several outlets where news or nuggets or pieces of information find you. You don't find it. It's a very crucial, superb difference. When we guys wanted some information, we had to go and find it. We had to go to the information source in some way and then get it. You wanted a result, you had to go to wait for the newspaper to come, open it up and see what is happening. You had to wait for the postman to come, see whether you have got a call letter. Slowly, information became widely available that you could go and ping. Then it became so widely available that it would ping you. Every time something pings you, it's a distraction. Right? And then I find that the nuggets that are present are rarely ever facts. They're severely opinions. Some bandied about as facts, some bandied about as opinions. And then you get emotionally having a stake in it. I'm no less guilty than anyone else out there. I've gotten into dog fights which I should have stayed away from. Personally and professionally. I don't know if you guys know, we are embroiled in some kind of professional dog fights as well. But it is we are human, so we get drawn in by that. But you should at least know who you're engaging with. If you're engaging with guys who don't engage in good faith, or for whom the time is not a precious commodity, you're in for trouble. So don't get drawn into discussions that are not relevant to you. Don't get drawn into arguments, debates that have no hold on your life. And if you have something meaningful to contribute, do, publish, write, speak, communicate, articulate, all good. I'm not saying we should not be engaged citizens or curious human beings. We should be all of that and more. But sometimes getting into random debates is a complete waste of time and energy. Especially you guys, if you're preparing for an exam, you cannot afford to have 3 wasted days. So stay away from junk. A lie can run around the world 6 times while the truth is still trying to put on its pants. This is so true. This is specifically true in our doctored times. I've seen super wonderful reviews of courses online, which are ridiculous and which are just manufactured. And so you make sure that you have a beautiful truth filter. If you don't have one, build it. With critical thinking, with critical studying, with doing thorough research, you should be able to weed off junk from serious stuff. You should be able to spot fake reviews. You should back yourself to go and evaluate a product. Or you should speak to your 3 friends who have evaluated it, whom you trust. But the greatest piece of advice that comes from right now is a stranger on the internet. And the stranger on the internet always has a vested interest. So keep that in mind. Don't believe every piece of junk that you see on the web. In fact, there was this review. I was going through some random review. There was one review which reminded me of some other review. So I Googled and found out. And then there was a review by our 2IIM student who has reviewed the 2IIM product. That has been replicated as a review of some other product and some other provider. They've taken the review and replicated it. It was actually a well-written review. They've doctored it, so it has become less well-written. But some of the phrases I could pick, and they're still there. I'm like, dude, you can even pay money and get it written, but at least the junk part, it should be original. But we are living in the world where fake reviews have copies. Fake reviews get remodified, and so be very careful. So whenever you're evaluating any product, is this a provider speaking the truth? Can I trust the provider? That's a crucial thing, super crucial thing. So there is value for that. There is value for that guy being trustworthy. So keep that in mind. And whenever you're listening to people giving opinion, always worry about that this guy have a vested interest. Are they just lying and can they get away with it? So especially in our current era where several pings find us from all over the world, we've got to be super careful because the lines between what is news and what is ads, what is opinion and what is motivated opinion, what is a mentorship and what is counseling for a course, those lines have all got blurred. Several people purporting to be neutral are anything but. And so every time non-neutral people say something that they're just bullshitting. And so make sure that you know and you pick up this ability to figure out who is being reasonably honest and forthright and clear without them having a stake in the process. And remember that we are living in a world where the truth filter is going to be super crucial. Wonderful, guys. Best wishes for CAT preparation.